All right, guys, Madness 80 here. God, we've gotten a lot of great legends this year, last year, but we're focusing on, we're last day of June. We're going to focus on this year, obviously, including BAFs, a lot of X-Men bias, but yeah, man, a lot of great figures released this year, and we're only halfway, and we know what's on the horizon, at least through summer. We know there's a third Avengers wave. We don't know how they're closing out the year. We got Comic-Con exclusives coming. Jeez Louise, man. I did want to do a quick honorable mention. So there's an odd number of figures here. It's like 22, 23 figures. Weapon X Wolverine. I just wish he came with the yelling head. Beltran 007 at Instagram has a great yelling head. Go pick that up from him if you have not. Makes his figure look a lot better. But yeah, it's Wolverine. I don't know what else to say. I think the Logan that just came out might be my favorite Wolverine of the year so far. Forge, yes, believe it or not, as someone who had the Toy Biz Forge for years, this was a much welcome addition. He's a character I don't care that the Bucky cap is on because, he's pretty. He's not a thrilling looking character, you know. He's a dude who makes stuff and he's rad. But I won't include him in this list. He's awesome. I like this figure, maybe more than I should, maybe more than anyone does. Not enough to be in the list though. Not enough to not blah. Jesus. Rubber baby buggy bumper, right? Yeah, so he's not on the list. Talking about action figures here, the most in action of action figures is Professor X. Again, that X-Men bias, man. As a kid who grew up in the 90s, man, Jim Lee, X-Men, Rob Liefeld, X-Force, that was something else. Executioner songs, Fatal Attraction, just so much good stuff there. Jeez. You know, and how can I forget, the majority of people, and there's nothing wrong with it, the majority of people were exposed to 90s X-Men through the 90s cartoon. And man, that was good stuff. So, you know, Professor X in this hover chair is huge for me. Let's just admire him. Let's bring him up. Oh boy, I'm gonna knock stuff. I don't have all his accessories with me. His Cerebro helmet, his telepathic goo blob that they kind of dropped the ball with. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I wanted this figure for so long. I held on to the Toy Biz one for so long. I didn't display it or anything, but you know, they did what they could, brought it out in the vehicles line, and it's awesome. It is an in-action figure, but you know, you've seen the reviews, I'm sure, all over YouTube, but geez, this guy is great. He's much needed, you know. We need our in-action figures every now and then. I mean, we got JJ, granted with the Chameleon as part of the Chameleon accessories, but you know, there's a lot of us who wouldn't mind characters like Moira McTaggart, or you know, just characters like that don't necessarily go out and be the superhero, but we got Mary Jane before, and we're grateful for that. But, you know, I want an Aunt May. You know, let me know, would you want an Aunt May? I may not want an Aunt May for $20, but, like, if they could somehow put her in a 2-pack with, you know, something. So I want to get something else with Aunt May, but I would want an Aunt May, you know. Yeah. We're gonna see this suited body till the end of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more characters with this in the future. But yeah, so Professor X is on that list. Another character I want to talk about is Ronin. So I think I like to post pictures of like who wins, the Marvel Legends or the SH Figuarts, and we're now. Hasbro's now approaching an era of where their figures are starting to at least look better than the SH Figuarts. For some people, articulation is everything, but The SH Fig Arts version of this looks like a kid, and I get it, you know, they're smaller in size, but even when next to the rest of his in-scale partners, he still looks like a kid. It's too clean. This has some wrinkles, you know. That other one is a very smooth head, but even these slight wrinkles make all the difference in the world in bringing Clint Barton Ronin to life. This figure's badass, man. I mean, just standing there, you don't even necessarily have to get him in a bunch of poses. And for those of you crafty ones, you know, there's tutorials out there. God, I wish I remember who was the first to do that so I could give you credit. But, you know, they cut the coat so we get some waist movement and more posability out of our Ronin. I might do that at some point. Why not, you know? This guy is rad. He's definitely going to be in that top. Again, I don't do like top 10, top 20. I do my favorite figures of the year at the end of the year. I usually don't separate Marvel Legends, but I think this is their strongest year in, God, maybe forever. So this year I might just do Legends and everything else. I like to do a little big old photo, what would you call it? Just a big old group shot of my favorite figures of the year. Check out my Instagram. Maybe I'll drop a quick preview of last year's here. But yeah, I like to do shots like that. So maybe it won't all be Legends. I don't know. The year, I mean, we're halfway through the year, and I used to think midway year lists aren't necessary, but in this case they are. It'll really help you narrow things down. There's so many figures. Yeah, man, I can't believe, I'm just sorry, I'm just in awe. Yeah, I own these figures and I've owned them for some time, most of them for some time, some of them for a few weeks now, and days even with or 1 week with the Magneto and Scarlet Witch. But we're in a crazy golden era of Legends. But yeah, Ronin, definitely. I spoke about Mystique. Last, the video I did of the exclusive so far. Make sure you guys are all caught up, ready to go hit part 2 of 2019. Hit that with the ground, hit the ground running basically, because it's just a non-stop train. But I love this figure, man. I love the head sculpt. I know some people weren't satisfied with that, but I'm, you know, in terms of what I expect from Hasbro, look at that. I mean, even just darker to light, the little skull up there on her head. I love this figure, man. And again, I mean, every video till the end of time, till it happens, we're going to mention the double jointed elbows. We're going to mention the ab crunch found in the female figures of Overwatch and Dr. Afra recently in Black Series. They can improve the female buck. Maybe they have, you know, maybe stuff's in production for 2020 or who knows. But Mystique, definitely one of my favorites of the year. Mysterio, oh boy, domino effect. It's okay. I love the movie Mysterio, man. If he had a Jake Gyllenhaal head, and I'm hoping they eventually do one, man, this figure would just be up there. Even without nab crunch, the diaphragm's fantastic. I talked about this in that review or closer look or whatever you want to call it. I don't really think of myself as reviewing figures. I just like talking toys, showing off toys, creating a dialogue on Instagram or in the comment section if you're civil. But yeah, this figure's awesome, man. Look at that helmet. And again, I'm hoping we get like a 2-pack of an unmasked Spidey and unmasked Mysterio. Old Boy, CTTS, check him out on Facebook. He did a great, are they? I honestly don't know if it's a group of, I'm sure it's a group of people. They got a Jake Gyllenhaal head for sale right now. Check them out. Fantastic guys. I've got a ton of head sculpts from those guys and was fortunate enough to win their Stan Lee one. Yeah, but Mysterio, top. He might be, no, we got War Machine and Rescue, and I was going to say he might be the only MCU one, but these dudes fell. Let's just look at Corvus Glaive. Again, I talked about him in the exclusives. I've heard Walmart's starting to ship. For those of you who held on to hope and just kept your orders open, I understand they were shipping them out. So I hope more people are getting this 2-pack in their hands, man. No one should be without this figure. Look at the tattered, what have you. What is this? This little cloak. This thing's heavy, dude. It helps him stand. I can't, every time I'm looking at him through the lens, I'm just in awe. Just the gold etching into his outfit. Man, this is a good figure. Look at that staff, it's got a wash. Great figure. Definitely one of my favorites of the year, along with his buddy. Maybe they're not even friends, I don't know. We don't know what these dudes do when they're out in space. Only complaint is the hair, you know, should have been a little longer, but man, hear me and rejoice. This figure is a must-have. I loved him in the film, man. Ebony Maw, fantastic. I'm just gonna gush and take a closer look at these figures since I didn't necessarily start doing reviews till a couple months ago. Videos. I've been doing videos, guys, videos. Fantastic, man. I know a lot of you guys have him, and he is awesome. Look at that head sculpt, man. Different shades of gray. We could have done some blacks in there in the eyes and all that, but man, is he rad. He is a rad figure. Skullbuster. That's my X-Men bias coming in. Look at that. That paint, just the all black. The paint, you get the Reese head. If you have an extra nuke body, you could throw that on there. Yeah, it's a little buff, but it works. Deathlock body. Again, a little bit of paint and some accessories can go a long, long way. And man, does it go a long way with this guy. He is awesome. We need more Reavers. Look what you started, Hasbro, rather. Don't leave us hanging. Don't leave us hanging. And don't take years to complete this this squad. Awesome. Something about just the jet black with the white painted over it. I mean, they didn't create this design, but it works. Fantastic figure. Let's look at Hercules now. Comes with another set of hands to hold his weapons, obviously. I like to have him chilling, flexing, you know. Will we see him in the Eternals film? He wasn't. I mean, was he even a part of the Eternals in the comics? I thought he was just... Anyway, whatever. I mean, look at that. This dude is a man's man. Hair on the chest, happy trail, awesome belt, awesome legs that we haven't seen before, I believe. Look at that. He's like, you know, I don't know about you. I don't really care for the man bun haircut. You know, I haven't given it a shot. Maybe if I was to have one, I would enjoy it. But really, though, this looks rad, man. He rocks it. He rocks it. There's some people who rock certain styles. This guy does it. Modern incarnation of the character, but it's just fantastic. Look at this dude. This body is awesome. Hopefully we see it in more figures throughout the year, next year. So let's pick up Rescue. Double jointed elbows. You know, we talked about her in the Hulk Wave video. She's awesome. These little flappy flaps up and down. Different pack for her back. Great blue, great metallic blue. She is fantastic. If you got the Mark 85 SH Figure Arts Iron Man, they go great together. Man, yeah. Can't get enough of this figure. I'm not particularly a fan of Gwyneth Paltrow, but whatever. Power and Glory Captain America, aka Worthy Cap, dubbed so by the fans. I told you, he would definitely be figure... I said figure of the year. I misspoke. He's not my figure of the year, and he's not going to be my figure of the year, but he is definitely in my list of favorite figures, favorite Marvel Legends of the year. They done Cap right. Again, another situation where Marvel has just done a better job than Fig Arts. Again, it's just articulation ain't enough. You got to step it up, Fig Arts, you know? Because Hasbro is giving me a reason to just not even get those figures anymore, especially with Cap and Ronin. I got to get their Widow and compare. Their Hulk, though, their last Hulk was fantastic. So, again, growing up X-Men. Jesus, Cap, come on, man. Get your shit together. Growing up X-Men, and continue that story. Growing up loving X-Men. I was so bummed that first season of X-Men where Beast went to jail. So, you know, we had that whole first season and Beast got arrested. You know, and I'm like paraphrasing or whatever how the plot. But yeah, he got caught and and then he appeared in an episode again that first season and it was just, he was in court. Damn it. Beast, you know, such a good guy. And I think there was a situation where he could have left. You know, they somehow knocked down the walls of prison and he was like, no, I'm good. I'll just await my trial. And that's why I like Hank McCoy, man. You know, despite the calm, cool composure, the brilliant, the intellect of the man, he's a beast underneath, and he will tear you up. He is fantastic. The choice of blue on this figure is amazing. I think I have a ton of Beast action figures. Maybe, would you guys like to see like a Beast retrospective of action figures? I don't know. You know, I'm still figuring out what to do with this channel. I just like talking about toys and showing off toys and toys and toys. But yeah, let me know. You know, I might have to start doing one figure at a time instead of a whole wave because I don't know what else to shoot for you dudes and dudettes. You know what, lay your ass down. We're talking about Beast here. My boy, Hank McCoy. I ordered the Anthony's custom head. I'm very excited for that. He did an excellent animated Beast head. Man, that dude knocked it out of the park with that head. Yeah, you know, and I wish I got I bet my Man-Thing head. Just Jay Hernandez has that head. It's just a calm head. I think Beltran's working on that head as well. Beltran 007, 007, Beltran 007 at Instagram. You know, get your Miles Morales head, get your Beast head, get your Hellboy horns and sword, get your Weapon X head. Yeah, but Beast, I mean, look at his size. I had him crouching. He's a figure, all right. Oh man, you're staying on camera. You're too gorgeous. Recent addition. Man, May Shelf. This head is unfreaking believable, man. Look at the wash. Oh my God, is this the future? Can we expect dudes like May Shelf to just, oh my goodness, look at that. Look how clean the paint on the eyes are, the eyeliner. Pupils, the iris. Jesus Christ, look at this figure, man. And you know, flat feet. The other one didn't have flat feet, but this is unreal. I can't believe this. I can't believe we have this. This figure is if I wasn't such a Magneto fanboy, it'd be my favorite in the set. But man, I actually really dig the Magneto that came in that set. Quicksilver, not so much. So much so I took these to work because that's what adults do nowadays. We take our toys to work and we look at them while we're working and we do stuff. And I left him there. I forgot him. I just grabbed Scarlet Witch, grabbed Magneto, and grabbed a few of the Fortnite toys that I brought to look at as well, and forgot him. So, and I'm off the rest of the week, so he's gonna live at my desk and not be around the other legends. But yeah, man, there's a bunch of reviews online. Check them out. Look at the way the cape drapes. Whew. Man, oh man, I can't get over that. Let's get the light. Let's get some light closer. And we're back. Yeah. I just realized that I wasn't really shining on everybody there, but let's look at her face again. Why not, right? Man, oh man, the hair coming out. I don't think you guys understand. As someone who's been collecting Marvel Legends, and even pre-Marvel Legends, like I think I was 1990, I started collecting Marvel figures, Toy Biz Marvel figures, that first wave, which the retro series is based on, and letting you know how old I am there. Seeing this in basically a $20 figure is nuts, man. I can't get over it. You're definitely staying on that figure of the year train. Spider-Woman. I mentioned again, a little paint goes a long way on a buck we've seen before, but man, she has attitude. Look at the face, the hair. I love seeing this wash in hair now. You know, I used to like the bright colors because to me, I would justify it as, well, they're comic book characters. These are the comic book versions of these characters, but she's awesome, man. Great posability. She had that extra hand. It's kind of a goofy effect. We need to start seeing these on the bottom of the feet, like Black Series. So, just saying. There's talk to each other, Hasbro. Jesus. Yeah, she's awesome. I think this is a fantastic figure. I don't have much to say. You know, I talked about her up and down. Talked about her a lot in that Molten Man video. When I first started doing, it was kind of like first started doing videos. I want to talk about Beta Ray Bill again. We've talked about him again in the Hulk wave, but you know, I saw people, their jaw was working fine, man. Mine is not. Look at that. Still, I got a hot water trick or something. Regardless, this figure is fantastic. I guarantee you we're going to see a classic one soon, because this guy is likely flying off shelves. People at GameStop have been finding him, snatching him up, and loving him. Look at this guy, man. He just has a very commanding presence. And although this is his design, the lower half of him, it just on figure, as a figure, it's just plain. So Marvel 85 years, 5 years from now, hook us up. You know, hook us up, Toy Biz. Hasbro, geez, Toy Biz. Toy Biz on the brain. Hook us up. I'm glad you fell, Gambit, because I want to talk about you now. So this guy was my boy in the 90s, man. I loved Gambit, and it's probably like because you're a teenage virgin and he was badass, dude. We assumed he was great with the ladies, but he was always with Rogue, and he was after Rogue. He wanted what he couldn't have because she couldn't touch him, and you know, all that stuff. I want what I can't have too, Gambit. But look at him. He is the figure that doesn't come with the bath, so he's double packed in the case, but he's still flying off the shelf. Usually those figures, you see them. Look at Wasp. But Gambit is badass. There's a lot of new parts here. These are actually sculpted in. This is a coat we've seen many times before. It's just much more pliable. The head is fantastic. The card effect that he came with was fantastic. The stick is fantastic. His staff, sorry, bow staff, whatever you want to call it. Feet, man, this figure is dope. I prefer Gambit with longer hair that just kind of drapes over. But I don't mind this. This is awesome. Man, he's rad. Look at that. Light 5 o'clock shadow. Much needed figure. So glad we have him. And that's why he is in our top figures of the year so far. These guys have some challengers coming though, don't they? Man, I mean, that X-Force wave, some people have some figures from the retro X-Men wave. I saw some people were getting Storm. X-Force waves being shipped out from overseas. I just, you know, I know I was getting waves early. I wasn't getting them overseas. I was getting them from Entertainment Earth. Why was I getting them early? I don't know. I'm just like you guys. I ordered them and then they shipped them to me. So I'm not affiliated with them. It was just luck. My luck may have run out because everybody's getting their X-Force wave from overseas. I don't want to necessarily pay for the shipping on that. I can wait. And I got other toys to talk about, you know. I want to talk Black Series. We got Overwatch second wave coming. I'm going to be doing videos for the SDCC exclusives because I'm fortunate to know someone who has a very big heart for many years and has hooked me up. But I'm rambling about other things. I love the head sculpt on this. We've seen this body on Luke Cage. I talked about him in the Molten Man video. He's rad. I love just like Loki had a very, I want to say cartoony expression, but I mean, man, good looking. We don't need to talk about him a bunch, but War Machine, I brought up again in the Hulk video. Awesome, dude. People are starting to repaint him with the colors he had in Endgame. I like him like this, man. I really like him like this. But I wouldn't mind, man. If someone could repaint one for me, I would love to own that one as well. I might buy another and do that. But, I mean, he just has a very commanding presence on the shelf. He's huge. Let's move on to Caliban. So I didn't talk about this guy. Look at this head sculpt. This is like Horseman, Caliban. I love the head sculpt on this guy. Again, another big figure. Not Hulk big, but big enough, man. Oh my goodness. Look at his hands. Good purple seeping through. It's like you're so pale. You ever know someone who's pale and then you see like their veins in them when it's cold and stuff like that? That's what I'm picturing here. Not a lot of pale people in California, but it happens once in a while. Someone's so white, and probably this is like vitamin D deficiency to the max. I can relate, although I'm not pasty like this, as you can see, but awesome, dude. This guy is, look at that, man. Yelling face. I don't mind when the villains have the exaggerated, yelling face. I would like an alternative head, but, you know, he's a horseman here. Fantastic. That whole X-Men wave, again, was, oh, man, that might be the best wave of the year so far. I don't think the X-Force wave is going to top it for me. I mean, when you got Beast and Gambit and Jubilee in a wave, it's just not going to happen. I'm very stoked for Nightcrawler, very stoked for Boom Boom, very stoked Mr. Sinister, but yeah. So, Family Matters, I think I called it like Family Affair. I don't know why I did that, thinking of some 70s tunes, but Family Matters pack, which is a 90s thing, right? Steve Urkel. But I think we've seen this cape before on the other Magneto. I prefer this head. Everybody and their mom has put the unmasked head from the Black Magneto, Marvel Now Magneto, if that's what it is, on this figure. Looks fantastic. I hate the mullet though. Just old man with a long white hair mullet is weird to me. Look at that. Now he's got some purple there. I gotta take some heat to this so it can... Some people were taking this helmet off and shaving it. I think Robo from Foosh did that. Check out that video. This is bias. You know, I'm sure people still have complaints, and I don't care. This is pure X-Men love and bias that he's on my best of the year so far for Marvel Legends. You know, it makes me wonder how, when they bring these guys to the MCU, what is going to go on with Magneto? Anybody who survived the Holocaust would be really, really old, or, you know, they'd be a very elderly person by now. And maybe they could just say his powers keep him somewhat youthful. His age is just kind of slowed down, so he's a man in his, you know, late 50s, 60s, instead of someone in their 80s, 90s. But he is awesome. This figure is awesome. He came with some fists and those classic little bubbly, swirly Hasbro effects, which we've seen with nearly so many figures at this point. Yeah, but I love this toy, man. I was fortunate enough to get the Toys R Us exclusive Build-A-Figure Jubilee, and I think that's when Jubilee was a vampire wave. That Magneto was a bummer. He was so skinny. Who we got left? Hulk, we've talked about. I prefer this head sculpt. I like the hair on the chest, the arms, the color, the green color. People to this day are still... No, this is Hulk at the end of Ragnarok. This is Hulk in the beginning of Infinity War, which was the Hulk at the end of Ragnarok. This is Hulk when he talks to the Ancient One. Whatever at this point. Who cares? He's a rad Hulk toy. He's grown on me. I still prefer the SHF. My only complaint is the forehead. Awesome. Awesome figure, though. Definitely worth building. Finally, I'm not saving best for last or anything like that, is the Kingpin. God, look at that head, man. And the alternate yelling head is fantastic, too. You have options here. God, I wish I had another Kingpin. I really want the Shadow King. Really want my own Shadow King on the shelf, separate from this guy. Anyway, it's a Kingpin figure. We're basing it based on what he came with. Look at this staff. This pimp cane. Not a pimp, though. Awesome, dude. Much needed figure. Look at him. Jeez. I love it. That's, who sculpted this, man? I want to know. I want names. If you guys know who sculpted this, God, does he have an Instagram? Let's follow him. Sorry, adjusting my camera. But those are, this is more of a rambly, talky video, but those are my favorite figures of the year so far. You know, this isn't it's not up for debate because it's my list. You know, make your own list. This is who I like. This is who I enjoy this year. Look at that. Let's get them front and present. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming on this toy journey with me. I just want to talk about toys, man. You know, I'm not, again, I keep saying I'm not a reviewer. I'm not a reviewer. I may show off and give you my critiques, but I don't think I'm a reviewer, man. I'm a toy fan. Man, I know a lot of you guys are too. I'm just in awe with this year's releases. And yeah, and again, I thank you. Thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing. More videos on the way. Gonna squeeze in some more toy lines, other things, more comparison, maybe some retrospectives on, we'll focus on a character, and then we'll talk about their figures from the past. I don't know what I'm doing with this channel. But thank you guys. Again, thank you for watching. See you all soon.